If the church truly learned anything from the COVID-19 global lockdown, it is this simple truth. The mega church model is on life support. We just don't want to admit it yet. And nothing proves this more than the fact that in 2025, 5 years after the greatest disruption to physical gatherings in modern history, some Nigerian churchpreneurs are still investing billions into 150,000 seat and 200,000 seat church auditoriums. It is like watching someone buy a brand new typewriter in the age of smartphones. The world has moved on. The future is already here. But many in our religious space are still trying to rebuild the Tower of Babel in the name of vision. Here is the irony. COVID did not destroy the church. It revealed it. It showed us what was real, what was functional, and what was merely cultural. When the buildings shut down, the true church didn't die. It simply moved to living rooms, to phone screens, to Zoom calls, WhatsApp groups, Telegram communities, and small clusters of believers praying, studying, and encouraging one another without stage lights or sound systems. The gospel did not stop. Discipleship did not stop. Fellowship did not stop. It only shifted into a form that looked surprisingly like the book of Acts. For a moment, just a moment, the church looked like its original self again. Think back to the early church. They didn't have cathedrals. They didn't have LED screens. They didn't have 20,000 seater sanctuaries. They didn't have celebrity pastors and branded campuses. They had homes, simple homes, living rooms, courtyards, small clusters of believers sharing meals, praying together, studying doctrine, and discipling families. It was intimate, it was relational, it was communal, it was decentralized. It overran the Roman Empire. Today we have reversed that model. We've built cathedrals before we built community. We build stages before we build disciples. We build brands before we build families. And we assumed that bigger buildings meant bigger impact. But COVID exposed the flaw. When the auditorium closes, the discipleship collapses. A system that cannot function without a building is not the church. It is an event center. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The next revival will not come from event centers. It will come from ecosystems. It will come from networks. It will come from communities tied together by intentional discipleship, not by physical architecture. It will come from believers gathering in homes, in small groups, in co-working spaces, in digital rooms, virtual circles, anywhere the Spirit can breathe and the word can spread. Technology did not arrive to kill the church. God allowed technology to expose our idols and expand our imagination. You see, digital discipleship is not online church. It is a reorientation of purpose. It means discipleship is no longer limited to geography. It means spiritual family can form across continents. It means a teenager in Nairobi can be mentored by a teacher in Montreal. It means a prayer group in Lagos can join hands with a Bible study circle in London in real time. It means a new believer can get daily guidance, daily teaching, daily correction, and encouragement from people they may never physically meet, but who are spiritually knitted to them. And virtual house churches are simply the natural extension of this. They are the 21st century expression of first century Christianity. They are not a replacement for physical gatherings. They are a restoration of intimacy within a world overwhelmed by crowd-based Christianity. They break the monopoly of the stage. They return ministry to families. They put discipleship back where it belongs, inside relationship, inside conversation, inside community. Some people fear this shift because it threatens old structures. It threatens attendance numbers. It threatens offering patterns. It threatens the business models of religious empires. But truth is not intimidated by change. Truth survives every shift because truth predates every structure. The real question is, are we willing to embrace what God is doing, or will we cling to what he used to do? In every generation, God gives his people a window, a prophetic moment, where they can either adapt to his movement or cling to their monument. COVID was that window, a warning shot, a prophetic disruption meant to alert the church that the world has changed and our methods needed to change as well. But many leaders pressed snooze. They waited for things to return to normal. And when the lockdown lifted, they rushed back to business as usual. Massive auditoriums, Sunday performance culture, endless programs, and industrial scale church operations. Meanwhile, the world around them has become fluid, digital, decentralized, and fast moving. The next generation will not be discipled by sermons alone. They will be discipled by communities, conversations, and consistent online engagement. They will not be gathered by geography. They will be gathered by affinity, shared purpose, shared hunger, shared calling. They will never again see church primarily as a building. They will see it as a living network, a spiritual ecosystem, a family with multiple entry points and limitless reach. Digital discipleship is not a trend, it is an inevitability. And virtual house churches are not an experiment, they are a prophetic blueprint. The early adopters, the pioneers of this new apostolic architecture, will not wait for permission. They will not wait for denominations to catch up. They will not wait for traditional structures to endorse them. They will begin now. They will start in their homes. They will start on their phones. They will start on their laptops. They will gather 2 or 3. They will share the word. They will pray. They will disciple. They will learn. They will multiply. They will build micro communities that are deeply relational and deeply rooted in truth. And as these micro communities spread, online and offline, an underground revival will begin to emerge. Quiet, steady, decentralized, organic. A revival that no government can shut down, no persecution can quench, no lockdown can hinder, and no empire can own. This is the virtual church imperative. Not a church without pastors, but a church without walls. It is not a church without order, but a church without bottlenecks. It is not a church without authority, but a church without empires. It is not a church without gathering, but a church without geographical limitation. A church built on discipleship, not attendance. A church built on relationships, not rituals. A church built on truth, not theatrics. A church built on families, not fans, not blind followers. A church built on networks, not monuments. This is the future. This is the blueprint. This is the moment for early adopters to rise, because revival will not begin in stadiums. Revival will begin in living rooms and in digital rooms. And the people who understand this now will lead the movement that defines the next century of Christianity.